Hello everyone, and welcome to another podcast episode. My name is The Star. I am The Star Crochet, and I make and sell crochet and knit gifts for everyone. Welcome to another podcast video. This is episode number 79. And on this videos, I talk about things like what I have been up to, any items sold, any works in progresses, any finished objects, and that's about it. So let's get started with what I have been up to. I have been crocheting a lot, the usual, and I've just been making new items, and I was given the idea of crocheting like small things for keychains. And so I have not yet ordered the keychains themselves, but I have started with crocheting the little objects to place on the keychains as another item to sell. So that's what I've been up to, just a regular machine mode of me, and now let's go forward with the items sold. So I am on this side of the video because I have right here the items that I have sold. I have sold 3 shoulder bags at a local store downtown of where I live, and I was able to sell them all. I at first left them with 3 of the shoulder bags, and I'll have the different colors right here to show you guys what the colors I sold of the shoulder bags. So I dropped 3 of them off at the store that I dropped them off at, and I trusted them with paying me in full at a later time for the 3 bags. I sold it to them for $40 each, and they were only able to pay $40 in the first drop off. And then I told them, I was like, I trust you guys, and it was real. It's true trust. I was able to receive the remainder $80 after my second visit of visiting that store. And next is the finished objects. This is another week where I have a whole bunch of finished objects, and I will gladly show you all the objects that I have finished. I again don't know how many in total I have created, so let me know in the comments below if you have been counting of all the finished objects I've showed you guys. Let's get started with this dragon right here. First, I will say that this dragon is not my original pattern. I will link the original pattern listing in the description box below where I bought it from. And this dragon right here, I'll show you up close. I used a single crochet in all of the dragon, and that's typically how amigurumi goes, which amigurumi just means it's a Japanese term, but I noticed that it's used all the time for stuffed animals, like English version stuffed animals. And this dragon right here, it has the colors lilac and it has soft pink as well. And this dragon will be sold for the typical price that I usually sell the dragons at on my listings, and you can check out my listings in my Etsy link in the description box below. But this is number 1 of the finished objects, and you can see it has soft pink horns and then like a lilac and soft pink ears. It has yellow eyes, and then it has a lilac skin and soft pink wings and soft pink spikes all throughout the whole body. The next finished object is yet again not my original pattern. I will again place the link to the listing I have found the pattern of in the description box below. So for every object that I have finished that is not my original pattern, I will place in the description box below for future reference. This right here is an axolotl, and I have the colors right here are like a pale or pastel yellow and a gold. It has green eyes, and it's pretty tall, pretty big, pretty wide in width, and this is the back of it. And the torso right here is not meant to be stuffed. It's optional, but I also choose not to stuff the torso, the middle section. And I don't know quite yet how much I want to sell these for, but we'll see when we get there, when I create the listings. And the listings should be up and running by the time I have this video out on YouTube. and Patreon. The next finished object is yet another axolotl. I plan on making these axolotls in one of every color that I have. And so I have the yellow and then I have the green so far, and it's the same way that I created it with the pattern that I have followed. The next finished object is a pink axolotl, which is the natural color of an axolotl. And then it has no tail. And then it has blue eyes. And then the next axolotl is a purple one. And it's pretty hard to keep the frills, these parts right here. It's pretty hard to keep the frills in their own place because they're like so tall when it comes to the pieces that I created itself. Like, see how far out it goes? It's bound to be flimsy. So I have the purple axolotl with green eyes, and I got the safety eyes, these ones that I used from Hobby Lobby. The next axolotl I have is red, and this one right here is made the same way, and it has green eyes. And then the final axolotl that I have for now is a brown axolotl. And this one's really cute. I used different shades of brown because I had not much of each shade of brown that I had consisting with this axolotl, and so I had to make do with what parts I wanted to create as, you know, the light brown right here, what parts I wanted to add the ivory, and what parts I wanted to make the dark brown. And then it has blue eyes, and there we go. And then the next finished object I have is a large pair of rainbow mittens. I know that I have created before a pair of large mittens, but the thing with that was I crocheted left-handed with the large mittens of rainbow, and that was the very first pair that I had made, that I had created the pattern with, and it was a prototype, honestly, and it wasn't a perfected pattern just yet, but these mittens are an original pattern. See right here. And then I have the last finished object in my bag, at least, is a size small rainbow mittens. And so when I created these mittens, I also explained it in the yarn haul that I had recorded yesterday, and I will also link in the description box below once I get the yarn haul as a video published on YouTube. I had explained how with the mittens I only have two different sizes for it, size small, and then I also have a size medium/large, and so yeah, these are the differences that you can tell. And they're each for adults, the size small and the size medium/large. And that is all the finished objects in this bag. The next finished objects I have are what I have started to create for the keychains project. And I haven't ordered the keychain part itself, but I created this pattern right here of an amigurumi heart, and I have 3 of this shade of green. And so whenever it gets to me purchasing the keychain parts itself, I will be able to just simply add a piece of yarn and like tie, how you tie a shoes, that I will tie it the same way, but not with bunny ears. And I will add to the keychain parts itself. So this is another shade of green that I have finished the 3 hearts with. And then I have one more shade of green. I just wanted to make a couple of this pattern that I have created first before I begin creating a mass amount of different colors of hearts. And so these are lime green hearts. And then the next and final finished object that I have is yet another idea for keychains, and they are cherries. I have also created this pattern right here, and what I did with these is I created 2 different red cherries itself without the stems, and then I created the stem and then I attached it together afterwards. And I also plan on making another fruit. I don't know how I'm going to go about that yet, but I will get there. And that is all for the finished objects. The next category and last category of this podcast is the works in progresses. So I want to start with what is on my hook. The yarn was about to fall on my lap, off my lap, but I wasn't going to let it. So what I have on my hook is going to be the stem of the next cherry keychain. So I have this much so far of a long stem, and then when it comes to creating the off part, I just connect it right here, about 4 stitches away from the end, and then I do a foundation single crochet about 4 stitches, and then with the long chain I do about 10 stitches of the foundation single crochet. And that is what's on my hook right now. And then the last of the works in progresses I wanted to show you guys. I have one extra stem that I have already created, and with these ends that I have here that I have not yet cut off or sewn or weaved through is the part where I connected to the cherries themselves. So I have one of those so far, and then I have a whole bunch of the cherries as you can see right here. And I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 7 more on my computer desk right now, but I just don't want to grab it because I just want to show you guys, you know, I have a whole bunch of cherries right now. And that is all for today's episode. If you have made it this far in the video, please subscribe to my channel. Ring the notification bell so you're always notified of all the videos I make. Like this video if you liked what content I shared today. Also check out my Etsy shop. It is linked in the description box below, as well as my Patreon membership, which you get exclusive perks like your name displayed on as a credit at the end of every YouTube video. It is $3.33 a month, and you also get perks like you get to vote in polls of helping me decide what colors I should use next for even what project I should crochet next. And also follow my social medias such as TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and X. Thank you for watching, everyone. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!